guys. I'm trying to be a little quiet here. Oh, it heard me. We kind of got thrown in our lap, so we had to help it out there. The mom abandoned it. It was out in my fenced area. And it is, I'd say, a couple weeks old. So we've been bottle feeding it and everything. The thing sat out there and squawked in my fenced area for a good, I would say, most of the day. I actually put a bowl of food out there to see if the mom would eat the food, and the food never left, so I think she pretty much abandoned this little guy. So anyway, we're taking care of it. We don't really plan on keeping it or anything, but we'll get it off the bottle and get it weaned here pretty soon, and it'll make somebody a good one. And I got this thing, Miss Diva. So anyway, that cat is out in my fenced area, and the mom's abandoned it, and so we got kind of stuck with it. We are animal people. We're really dog people, but I'm not going to let a cat sit out there and starve, you know. And it rained all night, day before yesterday, or actually yesterday, and you know, all day yesterday. So it would have probably froze to death and died. So anyway, as you can see, you got the chassis out from under the Monte Carlo. I actually done that on day 2, because when I did my video for day 2, it was like 3:30 in the afternoon. So I went ahead and I had the Monte Carlo sitting here, and then I put the 80 Regal chassis beside it. And I laid I jacked up the body in the front and the back and laid 4x4s across the rockers just like that, and across onto the Regal chassis, and I pretty much went to the back, lifted it up, moved it over about a foot, and then went to the front, did the same thing. So basically walked it back and forth until the body went on the chassis. So it was really fast, and it worked out really good. So anyway, that is done. I got the vapor line on the Monte Carlo chassis. I need to change the motor mounts. I'm definitely going to do that before I put the body on, just so I'll have a little extra room to climb up in there. Those are going to kind of suck. They're nice when the A-arm's off, but they really kind of suck to remove and change out when everything's bolted together. The fuel line, I haven't decided yet. I may end up having to take the Century off the frame and using it. I was originally going to do a fuel filter bracket back here, but after looking at it, the Monte Carlo, the rear floor pan kind of comes up here, so I wouldn't have access to it. So I haven't really decided. I think the best thing would be just to lift the body up off the Century, you know, just high enough. I may put a couple of cinder blocks, you know, on this side and get up in there with a ratchet wrench and try to get these uppers out. But I think I can peel it out of there and get it underneath the rear end here and then slide it backwards. I think that's what I'm going to try to do. So I anticipated rain, so I went and plasticed up my proportioning valve and everything and put rubber caps on all my lines. But anyway, man, oh man, underneath of the car's in pretty nice shape, and underneath of the floors I only see one rust hole that's through. It does still have the heat shield from the catalytic converter on it though, so I can't see on that part of it. But I do want to get this trim off the bottom and see what's lurking under there. I'm hoping it's pretty good. Now, this car, when I posted the first video, you actually saw it sitting on, it looked like it was in the dirt without a rear end and stuff. Now, this car has been at that salvage for, I would say, man, 12 years, 13 years maybe. And when he first brought it in, it was a complete car. Then it slowly started getting picked over, you know, and then like every time I went out there, I got a couple of parts here and there off of it, you know, and then he sold the rear end out of it, and that's when he picked it up and moved it over there behind the shop, and that's where you saw the video. Somebody actually bought the rear end and the spindles off of it. So anyway, luckily it hadn't been sitting that long, but anyway, it is supposed to rain again today, but I don't know when, so that kind of sucks. But I'm gonna try to get out here and work the best I can. I'm kind of thinking I'll move the Monte Carlo after my wife goes to work, gets her car out of the way. I'll move the Monte back and then get the frame up here and work on it. Yesterday, the guy with the 69 truck, I ended up going to his place and working on the truck in his barn because it rained almost all day yesterday. He kept getting screwed around by his buddy with the truck and trailer to get it brought over here, and I was getting pretty mad, so I ended up just working on it yesterday. I'm not going back today, so I'm going to go back Saturday a little bit and work on it a couple hours. All I'm doing is a fuel tank, which I already did that. He had a new one, and I took the carburetor off and took it apart. I have it here soaking in Berryman's. I'm going to put it back together here and then take it back over there. He's going to do spark plugs and some other stuff and a water pump himself. The truck's been sitting for 15 years or something like that, so he's trying to get it running and moving. We're going to work on the brakes tomorrow. He was supposed to get started on it maybe before I get over there, but hell, who knows. Anyway, there was a whole bunch of stuff I was going to do to that truck, and it ain't going to happen. He said he didn't have the money right now to do everything, so I think he realized that $45 an hour, when you start doing labor on something and start working on something, it adds up pretty quick. So anyway, guys, that's I'm going to technically call this early day 3 update, I guess.